and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider. I'm Jeff Brightwell, joined by Natalie Poole on the Memphis Tiger Network. And Coach, as we record this, it's travel day for you. I know this will air later this week, but traveling today, later this afternoon, and hard to believe in a year where the season was, canceled in the middle of the year last year, and this year you have the 4-game series, a lot of new protocols. That it's the end. Or nearing the end of the season, a postseason tournament, hopefully some beyond that, but you're through the regular season.
We are pretty amazingly that we pretty much, for us, we only lost probably one opponent to COVID-related reasons. And we were able to pick up a game with someone else in that same tournament. And so it really is kind of amazing after all of the stuff that we've been through, all the challenges that we have faced, that we are getting to the end of it. I'm definitely proud that we were able to play. Definitely wishing for a better outcome to our season. Our season's been tough for us, and tougher than I've ever experienced as a head coach. And it'll be one to remember, and one that will drive us to, working to be better and figuring out ways how to be tougher and better in moments and all of that. But I'm really proud of our kids' resiliency and their attitude and their focus all the way here as we move into the tournament.
You kind of touched on it, but outside of on-field stuff, as far as wins and losses, what will you remember? What will be the biggest lessons, not just taken by you, but the team and the program from this past season, this past year?
Mm-hmm. I think that in many moments we're tougher than what we think, and we can overcome. And then also some moments where maybe we look back and reflect about, hey, I could have approached this situation or this opportunity better. I will say this, no matter what, this has been a great group to move through this year with. I know for them, like I've wanted it so bad for them, but for things to be better, but they've really been some good human beings throughout this process. And I know that is hard. It's hard when you're losing to sometimes be a good person. Sometimes the ugly comes out in us, and I'm just really proud of them for fighting through that. They are focused. They want to go to the tournament and win. They want to face USF and compete and be able to overcome and walk away with that W. And so I'm really proud of the group, and I really enjoy being around them this year.
Over the weekend in East Carolina, you're pitching. I know the one game, I believe it was 8-1, but the other 3 games you had really solid pitching in the circle. And if you can get that over in Tulsa, the tournament, pitching can get you through 3 games, but you had really good pitching over the weekend in Greenville.
No doubt. I think that's one of the things that we go back and we reflect on is that, in the last 10 games, Mariah has pitched, her ERA has been a 2.79. Hallie's has been 2.74. That's way under their average ERA. And so I think that for us, like if we can go in and pitch like that, we've got a chance. We didn't play the greatest defense over at USF. We were not ourselves. I was really disappointed in our defensive performances, and so were the girls. And so I think that was one of the hardest series in terms of walking away and just going, wow, like we just gave that to our opponent, And so we know that Georgina Korick is going to be really hard. She's probably the pitcher of the year for this conference, and they're going to ride her out, I'm sure. And so we've got to greet that challenge offensively. But our side, our pitching, our defense is going to matter too, so that we have a chance to be in the ball game. So we have to eliminate walks, attack these hitters, and then play good defense behind our pitchers.
One last thing about the trip to Greenville, I saw where they did a really neat thing. We've seen some programs do this, especially recently with the everything kind of being in flux. Even on the road, they took a little time to honor your seniors too.
Yeah, it means a lot. In the end here, we're graduating student athletes, and we want to see them be successful, and we appreciate the time that they've committed to programs. For kids who make it through programs, all 4 or 5 years, whatever it takes, that's a true commitment to something, because there's some bright days and there's also some cloudy days, and especially in tough moments that we've all kind of experienced this year. And so I really appreciate Courtney and her staff and the ECU program for acknowledging our seniors and just taking a moment to do that on their own senior day.
We touched on the tournament a little bit already. You talked about USF. You also have UCF, ECU in your bracket. It's 3 days, single elimination. I always find it neat when you go to these tournaments. Doesn't matter, how big the tournament is, what seed a team is. once the teams either bus or fly to the tournament and they get into the team hotel, you can kind of tell the intensity, the excitement picks up, and everyone legitimately thinks, if we can just put 3 days together here, you could be conference champs.
Absolutely. I think in some moments, I think it allows them to come with a clear head. And then it's just an understanding that everybody's fighting for something. It's almost like you're fresh here in this year. The tournament is something different than the regular season. The regular season seeded you for this, and maybe, that's a nice setup in some certain ways, but I've seen a lot of people upset some people in some tournaments because it's just one game. It's not 4 games against an opponent, which is really challenging, but it's one game. And so what can you do in those 7 innings to be able to fight for your team and to find a way to get to the next day?
And it's always neat to see when I'm going to broadcast a couple of tournament games before, if you're the team vying for the upset, you can get these games sped up really quick. If you're the favorite coming in, all of a sudden, it's not double elimination. It's not a 3 or a 4 game series, and 7 innings can go pretty quick if you're fighting for your life.
That's right. It is. It's going to be interesting to see how it flows. I know this when we've played better. We've had some shorter games. We eliminate walks and we play good defense, and we've got a quicker game, and it just gives us an opportunity to get our opportunity to be able to do the things that we need to do to be successful. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm excited about going to the tournament. Excited to play a good challenging opponent. We saw USF pretty early on in the conference, and so it's been a little bit since we've competed against them, and so I'm ready to get back on the field with that team.
And finally, the neat thing is now with the new TV deal in the American Conference, they'll be able to watch your preliminary games on ESPN Plus. I believe your championship's going to be on ESPN too. So it eliminates especially for the parents, but the fans too, of hunting around, making sure where to find it. So the ESPN Plus package really helps.
Absolutely. And one of the things that the tournament has done is allowed for each team to have 100 friends, family, player pass list, and we can only go watch the games that we're playing, but what a great chance, because I really thought that we might have some challenges in terms of allowing some families to be able to come watch. But if they can't make it, ESPN Plus is the way to go. We really are grateful to them to have those opportunities to have our games televised in the tournament, and can't wait.
All right, Coach, best of luck. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jeff.
That's head coach Natalie Poole. I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.